very special episode today for you guys.
I really am so jealous.
5 movements to build a huge back. So this is the title of the video, and this is what the video is going to be all about. So it will include rear delts actually, because rear delts are a part of your back. So we will get that in for you, so you can actually pay attention and learn how to get a huge back. I can actually wear that t-shirt and say, you know, this is what can be done when you have got an atrocious back and you want a better back, because I never had a back and my back is actually looking okay now. So I actually have half a back now. I might actually have a full back by the time I step back on stage next year, but currently it's half a back and it came from no back. So I can actually, I've earned the right to actually do this video. I honestly believe I have. So I will get the movements up here to begin with, just so you know exactly what we are doing and how. So it will be 5 movements predominantly, with a volume that's starting to creep up a little bit now, yes. It will be 10 total working sets. Sorry, not 10 total working sets actually. It will be 1, 2, 3, 9 total working sets for back and 3 sets for rear delts. So all in all, it will be 12 sets for the back muscles. The back muscles. So stay tuned, pay attention to the cues. I will try and make them as simple as possible, just for audience to understand. I'm a huge believer that, you know, if you truly know your shit, you can break it down and explain it to a child. And that's the goal here. You know, I'm not going to spout off all the technical bullshit that all my listeners are going to be listening to and thinking, oh my God, you bell end. I don't even want to hear that. All I want to know is, how do I lift this from A to B correctly and with intent? So that's exactly what we'll show you. And yeah, let's have fun alongside of it. So time to get after it. Time to do some mobility, warm up, and it's fucking go time. So first and foremost, before doing any light work, I always like to start with core work. So 2 sets of leg raises followed by a set of planks with a slight dip to actually engage my serratus. So your obliques and your lats are actually kind of interconnected, as you can see. Obviously your lats wrap around your rib cage and they connect with your actual obliques. So to get the most output, most stability, to get your lat work, you do need to create a little bit of tension between your oblique and that side. So naturally getting some core work will actually help you with bracing and creating more stability to actually be able to stay locked in to get the most out of your lat work. The main difference you will see today between lat work and upper back work is the arm path and where my elbow actually finishes. You will have already seen a tip and a video of me actually doing the difference between a lat bias row and upper back bias row. If you haven't seen it, there's a link little there. Please click on the link and you'll see it. But nevertheless, the main difference will be the elbow path and where my actual elbow finishes. So if I go into too technical, lat work, this is always going to be a path, whether it's a pull down or a row, and a finish pan my rib cage. Upper back work, you will see a lot more motion, a lot more movement around my scapula, and I will always aim to drive my elbows out and around, whether it's a pull down or a row. So pay attention to that difference, because it's fucking big and it matters. Fucking hell. Ooh. Lat bias pull down. I'm going to show you 3 variations. So this can be done kneeling, seated in a machine. Mark is a tall individual. He has to do it kneeling to get the most from the setup and stability. Just come around the side to get the angle right. Main cue. First contact point, foot flat on the ground, knee into the pad, and then here, neutral spine, rib cage stays packed. However, chest isn't caved. Chest still remains up. Once chest caves, shoulder internally rotates. We want to avoid that. Chest up whilst rib cage is packed down. This is the position we want. As Marcus bends in here, then all we think about is driving the elbow in to the pocket of the hip, keeping small bit of semi-supination here, or at least a neutral grip. I'll show you the reason why in a minute. Look what happens to your wrist. Just watch the wrist and watch the whole arm, right? Now, this is neutral wrist. What happens to his actual whole arm and his shoulder once he adjusts his wrists? Right, look. His arm and his elbow has lifted and so has his shoulder. So now, this would be more favourable to actually work upper back. See? Now, let's twist it slight semi-supination. See what happens to the elbow? Internally rotates. Now, it's more in line with the rib cage to bias the lats a lot more. There we go. So literally as simple as that is. This plays a massive, massive difference, especially if you're trying to target the lats. So second variation, now look at Meg and look at the position she's in. She's actually seated with her hip. She's actually seated with her hip stuck into the pad and obviously knee into the pad as well. But as you can see, she's adjusted the whole position more in line with the cable. So now it's all pulling down in one straight line. She's holding the other arm on the actual machine for extra bracing. And same principle applied, same position, but slight different variation of it. Now you can watch me do it. If you have a machine like this, with dual you can use it, if not, single one the same. However, just make sure you get more in line with the cable, so you're not pulling at an angle, pulling straight down. When you're doing pull movements as well, just make sure your breathing's correct as well. Ideally, you want to inhale on your way up, exhale as you come down. So as you inhale on the way up, as you're extending up, you almost want to make sure that your rib cage expands and lifts as you're inhaling the way up as well. Again, it all adds to stability. And again, to me, the more pressure I can create from a rib cage as I come up, I actually have a lot more power as well. So more power, more stimulus, more lats, more gains, bro. More, come on! Come on, one force rep. There we go, yes! Back in lively, you can. So, tutorial time, let's fucking go. Gonna have to make sure he ups his games now. Execution game. Let's go, Mark. If Conor McGregor ate a bull, this would be it. Right, guys, so upper back bias now. So pay attention to elbow path and what happens to his back. Full retraction, and here all Mark is thinking about is driving his elbows out and around. And again, he's allowing his scapula to work to its full capacity. Full retraction and now full protraction as well, whilst keeping tension on this. He does not let go of the tension on his back as he's protracting and retracting. So I see too many people basically go limp as they go forward. So you have to make sure you keep the tension on whilst you're allowing some of this flexion and movement as well. With your torso position, slight thoracic spine extension, and I would argue to a degree, a little bit of spinal flexion is okay, but in general, you do want to keep a fixed torso and just think about your shoulder blades being like on a swivel. Let it go forwards and backwards. Analogy I have to give for this as well is, think of double doors in a hospital when you walk through. They're open both ways. This is what we're trying to do here. Open the door fully both ways, thinking of this being the door. Tutorial number 2, Megalodon. As you can see, Meg actually has got a lot more mobility, so Again, perfect upper back row is seeing this upper arm travel past the rib cage. 20 on, let's fucking go. Here we fucking go. One touch. Well, if it's a 50-50 rep, just complete it for me, yeah?
I'll keep you going.
Yeah. Yeah. Here we fucking go. Easy. Here we fucking go. Ah. Okay.
Let's go.
Oh. Way better, come on. Oh. Brace, 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 come on. Hard. Oh. Come on. Yep. Let's go. 2 reps. Come on. Easy. Again, again, again. Come on. Here we fucking go. Beautiful. DY row. So this is my favourite, one of my favourite lat movements because it is simply idiot proof, and I am an idiot.
What are you?
An idiot sandwich.
So I need something that's clearly idiot proof. Again, with these handles, it forces your arm into slight semi-supination. So again, like I mentioned earlier, what happens when you turn your fist? There we go, elbow internally rotates. That's what we want, that kind of motion. So here, with this movement, if we do it seated here, sorry, I'm gonna take my headphones out because I'm shouting. So with this movement, if we do it seated here, it will be very, very heavy in the shortened range. Shortened range, for the guys that, again, don't understand, it is in contraction, so contractile range, which is here. So what we do with this machine to manipulate the resistance profile, we do it standing. So move away from the machine, here. This way, it does get heavier in the lengthened range, and actual tension drops off in the shortened range here, which again, this is more working with exactly the portion of the lat that we need to train right now. And again, your lat is strongest in its lengthened range, so that's in the stretch. And at this far into the movement in the session, again, we want a movement that's going to overload here, not here where we are already spent after doing 2 movements that arguably overload mid to shortened range already. So this is the reason why we do it here. So again, with the DY row, posture, same again as I explained earlier, neutral spine with your chest up and rib cage pat down, core contracted, slightly on the side that you are working with. Body weight stays on your right leg, and again, semi-supination, you cannot go any other way here. Drive in, brace with your left hand, and then again from here, the motion is all about driving the elbow down into the pocket of the hip. You should almost feel like a crampy sensation in your lower lat as you perform this movement. That's when you know it's right. 3, 2, 1, up.
Let's go. Keep it on. Hey, let's go. Switch it on. Come on. Okay. Lock in, lock in, lock in. At least 2, at least 2. Drive. Yes. Drag. That's, come on. Take it. Oh yeah.
Yeah, no chance 15 yet. So we've actually got 3 different variations of an upper back pull down today for you to see. One variation that Mark does that he prefers, one variation of me doing it on a machine, and one variation of Meg doing it on a fancy prime pull down grip thing, attachment. However, you can actually do that with a wide grip straight bar using a pronated grip, or you can simply put handles, knee handles over a normal bar. But I'll let Meg explain a little bit onto that one while I go and do my warm-up sets before you see my working set. Peace out.
So, this is the
Take 2, take 2.
So, this is the upper back circus pull down on a cable setup. I much prefer this. I think because I'm not tall, and with an upper back focus pull down, anything upper back, Lots of people think lean back from the hip rather than getting the chest extended. So it's not a case of going like this and then pulling. It's a case of standing up nice and tall and just literally thinking about pushing your nipples right up towards the ceiling. Be able to get yourself in a position that you're actually just going to work your upper back. Lots of people do it like that and think that they're working their lats, but unfortunately they're not. They are just working their upper back. It's not wrong, but they're not doing a lat pull down. They are doing a upper back focus pull down. So I do it with the prime bar setup. I like it because I can obviously put it to the level of which I need it for kind of my width. Obviously Cuba has it right on the end. I have it just slightly inner just because that works better for me. If it's too wide, you're kind of in this position and you're probably just going to use your rear delts instead. Whereas if you do it like this and have it in a position that's right for you and your biomechanics, then you are going to be able to obviously use your upper back. Obviously not most gyms have a handle like this. Lots of people do buy them now because there are lots of companies that you can buy them and they are quite kind of cost effective. So you could maybe look into getting something like that so that you could use it. Because again, you can use it for the lat focus exercise as well. You just put it narrow so that it is shoulder width so that you can actually use your lats. And it's a little bit safer than using the bar setup because it's inside a groove. You've got no kind of risk of it pulling out. You are okay using this. I know that lots of people get a bit worried because if you think about it, where the force is, you're actually pulling down, you're not pulling out, so you're not going to get it moving around. So if you do need to use it, a normal bar setup with D handles, because obviously D handles are a little bit cheaper than a bar like that, then you can obviously just set it up like I have here. I feel like that guy from Ready Steady Cook. Here's what I made earlier. So yeah, so you're going to watch me do it now. Literally, chest extended up towards the ceiling, elbows drive out, down alongside your body, and then feeling about wrapping them around behind you. Some people's kind of mobility and flexibility won't allow them to really get there, but as long as you can do that, well, as far as you can go with that biomechanically and kind of like with your physiological body possible, then you're going to be working your upper back, so I'm going to do it now.
Let's go. And again.
10. Really? This particular machine actually allows your upper arm to diverge out. So ideally, when you pick machines to use upper back, you want a machine that almost imitates a high row or a simple pull down. So do not use a machine that's going to allow you to drive here for upper back work because it doesn't really make much sense. If you have a machine similar to this, obviously I know that many of you won't have access to machines like this, and I think it is unfortunate, but you can always come to Rotherham and join up as a member or come on a day pass. Best gym in UK, no questions asked. Have to throw that one in. But anyway, again, ideally you want to pick a machine that will allow you to basically go from here and allow your elbow to come out and in. So perpendicular action, so you want to imagine as if you're trying to pull your elbows apart and around, allowing your scapula to work freely, fully open your scapula and they'll get full retraction at your shoulder blades as well as you're coming through. 2 variations that I like to use on the pull sessions. I started to do reverse pec deck for your delts on the push sessions. I'll cover that in a different video, but here we're going to do reverse cable fly that me and Mark just did now, and then Meg is going to demonstrate a face pull as well. Here, you actually want to use your traps to brace. So, this particular movement, it's quite hard to get for people that don't effectively use the traps to brace. So here, you need to almost immobilize your shoulder joint you don't want to initiate the movement with retraction. So what I tend to do is actually use my traps to hold my shoulders still and in place. This way, the motion is literally to bring your upper arm out to the side. So the cues that I like to give for this is, again, brace with traps. Mark's got a lot of fucking meat there to brace with. So as you'll see, Mark will actually use his traps to brace and hold his shoulders in place. And then from this movement here, the only thing we are seeing, and the only thing I want to see, is your upper arm move out to the side. So as you can see, this stays still. The only thing that's moving is upper arm out to the side. So now, rear delts are getting fucking blasted. So if you want a 3D shoulder, this is what you have to do. And obviously it's part of your back, so 5 tips, 5 exercises to get a huge back. This is included. So again, the main cue, as you can see here, hold position. I don't want any retraction, no initiation with shoulder movement. This stays still. The only thing that moves is my upper arm out to the side here. That is it.
This is the face pull. I don't really like the fly that they do. I just feel like I'm a bit small for the width of any of the cable stacks. So, not that I'm small, I am quite wide. No, I'm kidding. So, this is the face pull. Pretty much similar idea with what Kuba was doing over there. Obviously you've got to really think about isolating your rear delts. And if you're really not careful, you'll probably use your upper back or your traps to do it, because you see a lot of people just really retracting your scapula. Here you don't really want to think about that. You kind of want to think about the opposite of it not really moving too much. So you want to really think about keeping your ears, woo! You want to think about keeping your shoulders up towards your ears and kind of sat right in line with them. Driving your elbows out. You don't want to be thinking about coming up or out. You want to be thinking about the line of what the rear delt is. And the rear delt is like that on your shoulders. So we want to be in the same position with your arms, and you'll really get that going. Even with me doing it without any weight, you can see it working. Well, I don't know if you can. I can feel it working, but I don't know if you can see it, but I can feel it. So that's pretty much the idea. I'll show you how to do it now. Obviously, I've got a fancy little handle. You can just use a normal rope. Don't worry about it. Don't get all fancy. I think that's the first time in about 6 months that he's called me beautiful, but you know, take it. So yeah, that's the face pull.
So we are actually, I am making our post-workout cheesecakes. Look at this, 120 grams for me and for Meg. That's pathetic. So this is actually the post-workouts, but nevertheless, this is the wrap-up of our training section. But first, before I wrap up, if you want 10% off from Turbo JP Subs, Kuba 10% off. No actual lies. I know that some of you guys, long-standing members of the community, I wouldn't say fans because that would just make me feel sick. Long-standing members of my YouTube community. Scroll back to some of the initial videos where I basically used to like to take piss out of the discount codes, but time has come now for me to actually utilise the discount code and help you guys and help me. But anyway, so honestly, it's not 10% off, 10 Kuba, whatever, Kuba 10% off, whatever it is. Right, wrap up for the training. I hope you enjoy this, guys. I will be bringing more content out on a similar style and similar basis to what I did today, to try and help you and obviously try and give back to you and bring some value to your own process, to your own training, to your own coaching, whatever it is that you are doing within the means of bodybuilding and physique development. So thank you very much, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Like, subscribe, share, do all the fun stuff. Support the channel, support me, support obviously my people. And again, thank you so much for watching. Take care and peace.